project, I had started suffering from debilitating sciatic pain. I found myself unable to sit up, move or even turn in bed without being hit by the excruciating pain that completely froze me. It was affecting every aspect of my life and nothing or no one seemed to be able to help. That summer, through a series of coincidences and synchronicities, I ended up attending a law of attraction type workshop and scheduling a session of EFT emotional freedom technique with tapping with the course leader Eileen. About 40 minutes into the treatment, as I was describing to Eileen how the fear of the pain made me feel stuck and unable to move, I suddenly started to sob. It wasn't a slow realization that hit me but rather a flash flood of emotion which took me by complete surprise. Through the deluge of tears I understood that the physical pain I was experiencing was merely a reflection of the emotional blockage and fear I had held on to about moving on into the new. It was a huge moment of relief where I realized I did not need to hold on to that pain anymore. Amazingly, within a week of the treatment the pain had completely disappeared. The release of this blockage seemed to catapult me into much more clarity and I was finally able to make some long overdue changes in my life. I reduced my working hours in order to gain a better life-work balance and I stopped the law studies that had been draining my energy. I was even more determined to remain in this state of clarity when my long-lost creative flow of energy returned. I hoped to get back into writing, which I loved and that my twin flame had always encouraged me to do. 20A6D2A80 489,482E91A6F 9,363,630D. October. Very soon after the physical/emotional release of the EFT session I had symbol-filled dream about my twin. Made all the more special by the fact that it was years since I last remembered dreaming about him. In the dream I was in Paris, where we first met, viewing an old abandoned apartment. Time seemed to have stopped there. The shelves on the walls were dusty and empty with the odd object left to cover dust. It didn't seem like a place anyone could live. I found myself feeling pulled towards the stream of light shining in through a door slightly ajar at the back of the building. I pushed the door open and stepped out into a Parisian courtyard. To my right, peeking through the clouds was the sun, shining onto the courtyard in stark contrast to the dusty and dark interior I had just walked through. As I stood there, not having taken a single step yet, a man stumbled into the quiet courtyard from the same building as me but through a different door. He was only a few meters to my right and only a few seconds behind. He pushed the door open with such a force that he literally stumbled out. He was facing sideways to me and did not see me, but turned towards the sun and stood there with his eyes closed, feeling the warm sun on his face. My heartbeat accelerated. I recognized this man. It dawned on me just before he turned around that it was my twin. For a split second I wanted to run, then resisted the urge just as our eyes met. It felt like for the first time in a very long time I was able to look at him without hiding myself. The truth was that in a way I had been expecting him. We weren't speaking, there was no need to. He was looking at me, relieved and amazed, saying, "What now? I am here. I made it. What happens now?" The dream was full of spiritual metaphors, signs and references to the past, him stepping out to the sun equals love shining through the clouds, etc. Note, you can find a more in-depth interpretation of my dream here. With each day I seemed to understand its deeper meaning more and more. I knew that the dream was significant, and my guidance told me that the fact that we both burst into that courtyard simultaneously meant that we had both had a spiritual breakthrough at the same time. I was definitely feeling the magnetic pull to him in my chest much more strongly, to the point that it developed into a physical ache whenever I thought of him. I kept finding myself wanting to hold him, without any agenda or hidden hope. Simply to hold him in my arms and let him know that everything would be okay. I was convinced he was feeling the pull too, yet when I wrote to him lovingly, guided to do so, he remained silent. We hope this channel has helped you discover where to start on your actual paths. It's a good karma to put a like, subscribe and share. Leave your suggestion in the field below. With all the love to you.